AstraZeneca have broken their own promise not to make profit from the jabs, and we talk about why big corporates and big pharma get away with anything they want. Yes, the heroes of 2020 and 2021, AstraZeneca, who came up with all these lovely products and everything that's helping the world. Let's just go with that. They promised they're not going to make any profit from the jabs. They promised that this is supposed to be just out of compassion, and because this was a global emergency, we have to work together. It was at cost, so essentially they still covered all the spending that they were supposed to be having. They didn't make a loss, because even I would be against it. I do not want any company, or whatever it is, I don't care about the product, to actually just make a loss for the sake of it. They didn't. They were careful to actually make sure that they at least break even or make tiny profit when it happens in terms of operational profit. But they have broken their promise, because they've now they are trying to make profit going forward from the current jabs, because they say that what we said was only at the time, last year, when the contracts were being signed by all the governments around the world. There's a bit of a problem here, because I have no problem with AstraZeneca changing their minds, making a business decision to survive or whatever, or just go with greed, make more profit. I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm not a socialist. The problem I have is they did not just did a misleading thing for the public, they also misled the governments. If you want to have, because what I'm hearing is that this discussion is not about negotiating again and sign a new contract. They're going to basically just change what it's going to be like in terms of the process based on the existing negotiated contracts. That's not right. And this goes back to the whole issue of private contractors and governments, politicians negotiating. Governments and politicians are the worst business people ever, because they have no sense of transparency and what an obligation in terms of the contracts that they're signing. Now, the chief executive of AstraZeneca come out and say, we started this project to help. Sure. But we also said that at some stage in the future, we will transition to commercial orders. No problem with that. It will never be high priced. Thank you. Because we want the vaccine to remain affordable to everyone around the world. I'm fine with this part. I'm not fine with the fact that you still have lied, because you're not going to do a new negotiated contracts. You're still just going to amend the current negotiated position that you guys have had. Every government, I don't care about the other governments, UK government, British government, should bring them back to the table, renegotiate, and make sure that we have to find out what's going on. Basically, also in terms of the promise that they made, they said to to CDC, to the WHO, to everybody, that the jabs are going to massively help reduce transmission, but also in terms of severity. Has not worked, has it? Because even Bill Gates has come out to admit that it does not fully reduce transmission. That was also misleading. So there have to be some sort of clarity. I'm not going to make any accusations, because I'm just going to remain objective and impartial in this topic. I just want to know if this decision is going to be made. They need to be more transparent. Our government and politicians need to be transparent. Just wanted to make that point and leave you guys with this information. Subscribe to the channel, click on the bell next to it to stay notified. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.